Hello everyone, welcome back to another class. This class is for economics major, second semester and of macroeconomics. So hope all of you are fit and fine, and as I am getting your feedback, you are related to your studies, you are continuing your studies. It's very good. So we will be extending it to part 3. Those who have, if any one of you have missed the last videos, just go through it. We are doing national income in the macroeconomics part, and we did part 1, part 2. In the part 1 we have just discussed the concepts, and in part 2 we have gone into the details of the conceptual framework, what is NDP, GDP, all these things, how national income can be derived. Today we are here with part 3, and part 3, as I have written, we will be going to these issues: measurement of national income, and 3 methods: product method, income method and expenditure method. And we will be going to in the product method we will be going to final product approach, and then we'll be watching the problem of double counting. What is double counting, how it creates problem, we'll be watching that thing, and we'll be going to the value added approach to solve the problem. So these are the things which we have planned to discuss today. If time permits, all the topics will be touched. If don't permit, then some topic may be taken to the next part. Whatever, I'll try to finish it within the time frame. Let us start. So let me take this one. So national income, as I have said, is the aggregate money value of all goods and services produced by a country within a definite time frame. And I explained in the first video that the income is equal to expenditure is equal to your production. So by any way you measure the income, or you measure the output, or you measure the expenditure, you will definitely, you are going to get what is your national income. So there are 3 roads, but the destination is same. Destination is national income, roads are different. We have explained all these things previously. Now let us concentrate on the product method. So what is product method? The definition which I have given actually is a representation of the product method. The aggregate money value of all goods and services produced by a country within a particular year. So if a country produces one book, say one book cost is 10 rupees, and a one marker cost is 50 rupees, 10 plus 50 is equal to 60, and one board its cost is 100, so it's 160, and one t-shirt it's 40, say for example 40. So nothing else is produced in the country, these things are produced. So we are adding the market value of these 4 items, so the country's national income is 200. So how we get it? We take what the country is producing. Okay, what the country is producing, we are taking only the final product. We are taking the final product, and accordingly we are adding their market values, and we are getting national income. So this is final product approach. Final product approach. So in this approach, what happens? We take the final value of the final goods and services and add them together. Now there is a problem. What is final good? What is final good? Final good is which is ready to be sold. Now there may be some confusion. So for example, milk. Milk is a good which is purchased by you just to drink, and also purchased by one sweet shop for making sweets. or a tea seller for making tea. Now this milk, same milk, somewhere it's a intermediate good in those places, and for you it's a final good. So taking final good may create some problem. And here comes the concept of double counting. What is that? Let me explain it with one example. So what example we can take? Rubber. Yeah. So you know your eraser, the rubber which you use to erase your pencil writings. So that is made up of rubber, and rubber comes from a tree, a plant. So if you have seen, it's a milky thing, it's milk-like thing. So let me assume in a country a farmer produces rubber milk. That milk, rubber milk of say 5,000, and out of that milk, rubber is produced. That means the farmer, say for example, in the country only this farmer is there, no one else is there. So in the country, the rubber milk is produced. Farmer produces rubber milk and he sell it to Mr. B, and Mr. B is a manufacturer of rubber. So he will purchase the rubber milk, and out of that he will be manufacturing or producing through the process rubber, and he will be selling that rubber at a price of say 8,000. Okay. Now that rubber will be purchased by Camel or other companies for making erasers which you use in your geometry box. So eraser, and that eraser is sold at a price rupees 10,000. Now for each and every one, all the things are final good. For him rubber milk is final good. For the second person, rubber is the final good, and for this eraser making firm, eraser is a final good. So as your definition says, add the final value of final goods. So if you add, what you will see here 0, 0, 0, 3, okay, and this will be 2, I think, yeah, 2. So the country's national income is 26,000. Say for example, there are some addition. Say for example, country's income is 23,000, or country produces goods of 23,000. There is it looks right, but there is a big mistake. There is a big problem. What is the problem here? The problem is that something you have counted more than once. The rubber milk was sold at 5,000, and the rubber was sold at 8,000. Now 8,000, that person who is selling rubber at 8,000, that rubber is made out of this rubber milk. So in his price, this 5,000 is included. So you are counting it double. Here in 10,000, this 5,000 and this 8,000 is there. What does it mean? It means you are counting it here also. So though its name is double counting, it may be counted twice, thrice, or 4 times or 5 times. So this is the problem. It gives you a wrong notion of the income. So what is the solution of this problem? Is there any solution? Because this type of situation may happen. Yes. You are in every goods and service, you get this type of problem. Not a single person do everything. He purchase something from someone else and make it. So what is the solution out of for this? The solution is value added method. So what we do, we take the value additions. It's simple. Say this person A who is producing rubber milk, he is producing rubber milk of 5,000, assuming that he is not using any input. And this person who is selling rubber, actually his service, he add the value in 5,000 just rupees 3,000. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. 5,000 rubber he purchased and he sell it at 8,000. That means his value addition is 3,000. And this person who is selling erasers, he is selling it at 10,000. So his addition, he purchases at it will be just 2,000. So if you add them, 5, 10. So what we see, income is actually income is 10,000. This is not. This is wrong. So in this way, we can solve the problem of double counting. This is called value added method. This is final output approach and this is value added method. In this way, we can solve the problem of double counting in case of national income counting through product method. Now, we have understood. Now, what are the steps? What are the steps to be taken into account while calculating national income? Achha, okay. One thing I am again saying, if you have missed the second video, part 2, you go through it, because in steps also in the various methods we are not supposed to go in details. Up to a mark I'll be coming, and after that when we got an NDP, from NDP how you go to national income, that thing I have already explained. So repetition is costly for us because it takes time. We have to finish it within time. Okay, so what are the steps? All the producing units of the country is basically categorized in three sectors. One is primary sector, which includes agriculture, fishery and allied activities. Secondary sector, manufacturing and all these things are included there. And third one is service sector. Service sector, you know, that includes this services, hotel, medical or hotel or other type of service, insurance and all this type of services that are included here. So in an economy, first you have to classify the category of work according to these sectors. Now, what is the next step? You have to find out the gross value added is computed by deducting the cost of intermediate for each sector. You have to find out gross value added. How? Value of output minus value of intermediate good. I am saying everything but not writing it here. It will take time. It's there in the book, you go through. So gross value added is equal to value of output minus value of intermediate goods. So from gross value added, since it is gross, you know, this is repetition, I have done it. Net value added is equal to gross value added minus depreciation. And what is depreciation? All the things I have discussed in first and second video. Then from this we can get net domestic product factor cost. From net value added, we can get net domestic product at factor cost. How? Just you have to add the net value added of all the sectors. For all the sectors, you add the net value added, you get. That is, you have, if you have classified in 3 sectors, so that 3 sectors net value added you add, you get net domestic product at factor cost. And from net domestic product at factor cost, rest journey you know. Again, still I am repeating, net national product factor cost equal to net domestic product factor cost. I think you know what to do here. Here we will be adding net factor income from abroad, NFIA, net factor income from abroad. And what is that? I explained in last videos, that is the difference between export, import, whatever the country is getting from outside. So, and net national product factor cost is equal to national income. So, in this way, in this product method, you can go for the calculation of national income. Okay, so this is the product method. Now, if you understand this thing, income method and expenditure method will not take much time. Okay. Yeah. So, what do we do in case of income method? In case of income method, we add together the income of all the factors. There are basically 4 factors: land, labor, capital, and organizations. So, the income of 4 factors, if you add together, you get net your national income through income method. For that, again you have to distribute the total economic activities into the primary, secondary, and tertiary sectors. You categorize them, and after categorizing, what you do, you take the factor income. Okay, so first step is to take the factor income as rent, as profit, as interest. Okay, all these things you have to take and you have to add. Now this profit may be all type of the profits are profit which include the dividends or distributed profit, undistributed profit, undistributed, all the things you take. And then the sum of income earned in the form of wage income, rent income, interest income, and profit will give you the domestic factor income, net domestic product at factor cost. It's not in market price because you are measuring it with the help of income method. So directly you will be getting factor cost. So net domestic product factor cost will be obtained like this. And if once you get net domestic product factor cost, from that next step is same. You add net factor income from abroad. But here you have to take some precautions. What are the precautions? Let me read it out one by one. First, transfer payment should not be included. I already said transfer payment do not create any goods and services. So transfer payment should be excluded. What is transfer payment? Go to the first part of the video. You will be getting value of value production for self consumption should be included. If someone produces something for self consumption, that should be included. What does it mean? Say, I don't purchase rice, I grow rice, and for the whole year that rice is sufficient for me. In such a situation, if anyone asks what is your income, I will not tell him that the rice is my income. I will say, oh, I get this much of money, these are my income. The rice which I produce is not my income. No, I have consumed that. Why should I say that as income? Actually, it's wrong. Assume that I don't produce rice. If I don't produce rice, I have to purchase rice from the market. and total cost of say is 1,000 rupees per packet, and if 1 month, so almost 12,000 rupees worth of rice I purchase yearly from the market if I don't produce rice. But if I produce rice, that money is saved. Or if you see in other way, if I produce rice, don't consume and sell in the market, I'll get the money now. So self-consumption good which you produce should be included as your income. Imputed rent, you know what is imputed rent? Imputed rent should be included, own factors earnings. Then illegal income should not be included. Illegal like bribes and all those things should not be included. These are not accounted. These are not. There is no tally. There is no record of all these things. So these are illegal. So they will not be included. Windfall gains like winning a lottery and all those things will not be included. Corporate tax will be included. I have already said. Gift tax, wealth tax, and gift tax, wealth tax, and tax on windfall gains should not be included, because gift tax and wealth tax, they are not tax on the current income. If you have land, you pay tax, and that tax, the land is not a income. It's not a flow concept, it's a stock concept. I have explained what is flow and what is stock. The river water is flow. Income is a flow thing. It's not that you are getting income for this day and you are not getting income for getting income anymore. Income is a flow concept, like water in the river, and wealth is like water in pond. That's not flowing, that's staying somewhere. So that things should not be included. Money received by selling second-hand goods. I think I have said in the first video also. If you have a bike of say Honda company, and you sell the bike and you get 40,000 rupees, this 40,000 rupees is not your income. It's actually, what is this? You are selling a second-hand product, and the product when you have purchased the bike first hand, then it was listed in say 2016 you have purchased that bike. So if in 2016 you have purchased the bike, it was included in the national income in that time period. And the seller was Honda, and purchaser was you. But now you are transferring, no doubt you are transferring the hand, but you are not creating a bike. The bike has already been produced and sold. You are just selling it second hand or third and fourth hand. So that should not be included in national income. 1 mark question comes. This activity will be given. This is the activity. Is it national income or not? So if you don't know, if you don't have concept, then you will do some mistake here. So go through these things. These are available in every book. Go through any macroeconomic book, whether it's R.R. Paul or any other. Okay, you will be getting these things. Then interest on national debt and all these things. Whatever. Then comes expenditure method. Then last thing, what I have to do is expenditure method. Expenditure method. In the expenditure method, it's a common thing you got in your higher secondary. Gross domestic product at market price is equal to, if I write in short, C plus I plus G plus X minus M. The equation tells everything in the expenditure method. What is C? C is consumption expenditure, total consumption expenditure. What is I? I is investment expenditure. And what is G? G is government expenditure. And expenses, that can come from abroad. So these are the areas where anyone can make expenditure. There is no other way of making expenditure. These are the areas. I purchase this, it comes here. Okay, I have purchased one plot of land, or I have invested in somewhere that will which creates capital. So that comes in investment expenditure. Government making road, that is government expenditure, that goes there. And explanation you know. So this equation will give you gross domestic product at market price, and how to go from gross domestic product market price to net national product at factor cost. You know this thing, you know this journey, because in part 2 I have explained it in detail. So anyone have any confusion, go to part 2 and watch these things. So these are the steps in expenditure method to measure your national income. Here also some precautions have to be taken. So first precaution is expenditure on purchase of new or old shares and bonds should be excluded, because they are not payment for goods and services. Share and what is it? Old share. If you purchase old share and new share, these should be excluded because they don't produce goods and services. It's an investment, no doubt, but it's a share. Is what type of thing? You know what is share? So I was owning the share, I am selling to you. So it's like that second-hand good selling and all. Government expenditure in the form of transfer payment should be excluded. You know, transfer payment must be excluded, whether it is from our government or from foreign governments. And expenditure on intermediate goods and services. Intermediate goods and services should be excluded. That is common from the first method. We know what is intermediate good, how it should be excluded. So these are all these are all the methods of measuring national income. Okay, this much today. I'll be coming with part 4, where we will be adding some other topics to this chapter. Till then, you go for study. You read the things. You whatever book you have. I prefer Apple Monetary Economics in this case. You can go through that book and read it. If you get any problem, send me. If you have directly, most of you have my number, so you send me. Or as I have seen, some of other college students are also following me. So it's a good thing. Okay, it's not bad. It's a very good thing. If you don't get my communication, in the comment section, in the comment box, you write what are the areas you are getting problem. Basically, in my college, we don't have Assamese medium major. Major is taught completely in English medium. So I'm because the students are taking English medium, so I'm conducting the whole major class in English medium. That is one of the problem you may face, some of the students. But whatever problem you face, you can text me in the comment section. We'll be addressing those problems. So be safe, stay at home, continue your study. Thank you.